Hello, I'm Jesus Valderrama from Lima, Peru, the economic center of my country, and I'm here to present my essay about people's behavior on my city. Is it sustainable? What could be improved? I made this study with information present in newspapers, on the web, and on my own research, and I found very interesting results. I hope that this essay doesn't remain just as an essay, because I strongly believe that it could help people to raise awareness about the importance to solve these problems. I hope you enjoy it. Is the behavior of my city sustainable? Many questions come to my mind when I think about it. What does sustainable mean? Is the government concerned about this? Is this important enough to be reviewed? What about other cities? Are there problems to be solved? Where could I start my analysis? First, I have to define what is sustainable development. Is to meet the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It sounds simple, but I have to go farther. There are critical components that must be present in a project, company, or system to call it sustainable. It has to be ecological, that means safe with the environment, social, with not bad impact on people's development, and economic. If it is ecological and social, it needs to be profitable, and furthermore, it has to be possible. Those are the ingredients to have a sustainable solution. Well, I will start talking about my city. I live in Lima. Lima is the political and economical center of Peru. So, let's analyze the current problematic behavior in my city. For that, I made a review of newspapers, internet, and of course my own research. There are many topics that I could talk about, and those are matter of every day in the news. Here are the most significant ones.
Here it comes.
Garbage,
I feel that ice is slowly melting.
traffic problems,
Darling, it seems like years since it's
lack of parks and centers of recreation,
here comes the sun,
noise pollution,
here comes the sun, and I say it's
air pollution, high use of fossil fuels, and inefficient use of water.
here it comes.
First, I grouped these problems in order to find a common issue, so that my study could be more relevant, covering a bigger amount of problems. I found that an important group is related to transportation.
Here comes the
So I will talk about transportation here in Lima. What are we doing to improve it, and what I think we should do? A sustainable transportation model for a city, as we have seen before, must be ecological, social, and economic in order to have a transportation system which doesn't pollute the environment, is not very expensive, and reaches every part of the city. Lima is currently very far from this, with a vehicle fleet that is very old and damaged, and with wrong infrastructure that has been constructed without considering feasibility studies. This fact produces that people in Lima lose about 7 days in traffic per year. Now we'll see the causes.
it seems like years since
I made a cause and effect diagram to order ideas and found many causes, but the principal branches are related to the following.
I say it's all
Authorities neglect, inadequate infrastructure, vehicle fleet age, and no culture of road behavior. People don't practice the rules they have learned to get their driver licenses. Many use a klaxon without care. This makes a lot of noise pollution. The streets become very stressful for drivers, and all of this lowers quality of life. This problem is not easy to solve. It could take years and generations, but to solve it, as we could see in other countries, is crucial to be sustainable.
Seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun.
According to the Ministry of Transport and Communications, for 2014, the total number of motor vehicles in Lima was 1,590,755, and it grows at an average of 9% annually. This figure represents 66% of all vehicles in the country. Peru has one of the oldest VFAs in South America, approximately 13 years old. This fact gets more worrying when seeing the figures of main pollutions in the city. The main polluters are the transport emissions, representing the 36% of all emissions. Older cars are neither ecological nor economical because a car consumes approximately 33% more gas and produces 40% more smoke after 8 years of continued use.
Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright.
Currently, many avenues and streets don't fit the requirements for a correct functionality, with improvised infrastructure that makes the traffic worse.
Returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here.
It's very common that traffic roads are designed for a private use instead of a public one, so there is so much inefficiency. An example of good application of priority in traffic roads in my city is Brazil Avenue, which has a central and big section exclusively for public transportation. Other important fact is that we still have few lines for alternative transportation. Lima has just 150 kilometers of cyclovías. This number is very short in comparison with other capitals like Bogota and Santiago, with 300 and 600 kilometers respectively.
Little darling, it seems like.
So, let's give us a second to reflect about the answer. The behavior in my city is not in line with the concept of sustainable development. There are many things that need to be improved. Well, not everything is bad. The government is working to reduce bad traffic and improve quality of transportation. Here are the most relevant examples. The implementation of an extra line of the metro will reduce 85,000 annual tons of CO2 for a period of 10 years. The Metropolitano, a system of segregated buses from 2010 to 2022, will help to reduce 688,308 tons of CO2.
It's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here.
The implementation of alternative routes until 2020 will reduce the time of commuting by 60%. Finally, for the problem of vehicle fleet age, the new program of scrap bonds until year 2016 will help to reduce the average age by 1 year. Now, I want to talk about what I think is critical to do in order to solve the problem. To reduce the vehicle fleet, it is necessary to follow the example of other countries, to promote the renewal of vehicles, imposing more taxes to the old car owners rather than to the new car owners. Moreover, in the future, this could be improved as a tax that will be imposed according to the level of CO2 emissions of each vehicle. This is ecological and social. These new taxes are economically advantageous. The amounts will be lower because the base of vehicles paying taxes will be bigger. Approximately 80% of all vehicles in Lima are more than 5 years old. To improve road culture of people, it's time for us to bring the road user consciousness to the school. One of the main goals of schools is to give good citizens to the country. Now we need good drivers. Children should receive lessons of good road behavior. This course should be an important part of their total score. It would be an important social measure. Behind everything, we can find that the problem is deeper. It's a problem of most Peruvians. People are very informal, not organized with their time, and don't like to follow traffic rules. We should use television and newspapers to give message about being responsible with our time. Last but not least, it is important to control the current situation, implementing harder sanctions in order to get respect. Police officers should not hesitate to put sanctions. It's time to be strict. To improve road infrastructure. Even though there are good measures adopted by the government, it is important to realize that having the new lines of the Metro and Metropolitano could only cover transportation necessities of 8% of all the population of the city. To cover 100%, it is important to implement more global solutions like this. Follow the international example of Singapore, creating runways specialized in public transportation that could motivate people to make use of them because of the shorter time of travel. More public transportation means fewer small cars in roads, increasing the traffic and the pollution. Other important thing to do is to implement foolproof systems that will prevent the bad behavior, intentional or not. Here's an example of my design that could help people to not receive economic sanctions. This is a common traffic problem. A car that stays in the middle of the avenue and doesn't let other cars to pass through. Here we can see the problem and the clock that indicates that people are losing their time.
It's alright.
Then, here's my possible solution. With the use of an extra light, we could create a new section that will prevent cars to stay in the middle of the avenue because they will use the space only when the other lights are red. After they advance when the light is green, the other cars can pass through without any problem.
Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright.
Here are some final words. A sustainable transportation system is a cornerstone to improve citizens' quality of life. Then we have a better city, more comfortable and human. It is our crucial labor to leave a better city to our descendants. Thank you for your attention. I hope to see you soon in IE.